In this lecture, we shall be considering directed numbers lecture 2. Here, we'll be looking deeply into the rules of multiplication and division. In our previous lecture, that is directed numbers lecture 1, we were able to establish the rules of addition and subtraction. Here, we will be advancing into the rules of multiplication and division. Now, let's begin. The first rule of multiplication and division is that if the same signs are multiplied or divided, the answer is always positive. If the same signs are multiplied or divided, then the result is always positive. That's the first rule. Take note. Now let's show an example. Now, for example, we have, let's say, plus 9 times plus 5. You can see clearly that they are the same signs. Then obviously, according to the rule, the answer will be what? Positive. So this will be what? Plus 9 times 5. And that gives us 9 times 5 is what? 45. Remember, we told you that plus 45 simply means 45. Let's look at another example. Let's say minus 9 times minus 5. They are the same signs, minus and minus. So, since the same signs are multiplied, the answer must be what? Positive. That's why we have this. Plus, then 9 times 5. And that gives us what? Plus 45 or 45. Now, another example, because we want you to understand this very well. Okay, look at this. Plus 9 divided by plus 3. The same sign, but they are divided. So obviously, the same sign will still give us the plus answer. So this gives us what? The same 9 divided by 3. And 9 divided by 3 is what? Plus 3 or 3. Now, minus 9 divided by minus 3 is still the same sign. And according to the first rule, whenever the same signs are divided or multiplied, the result is always what? A positive number. So this will give us what? Plus of 9 divided by 3. And 9 divided by 3 is what? Is 3. So the answer is what? Plus 3 or 3. That is it for the rule 1. Now let's advance into the next rule. Okay, before we look at the next rule, let's just look at this again. Plus 60 divided by plus 10 is still the same signs, and of course the result will be the same. So 60 divided by 10 and still gives us what? 6. The same one, minus 10 divided by minus 5, the same sign gives us what? Positive answer. I hope you understand what we are doing. Remember, whenever we have the same signs, the answer is always a positive number. So this is now 10 divided by 5, and that gives us what? 2 or plus 2. Okay, now rule 2. The rule 2 says, if different signs are multiplied or divided, the answer is always negative. If different signs are multiplied or divided, the answer is always negative. See what we mean. For instance, we have this, plus 9 times minus 5. Of course, there are different signs there. Then the answer must be negative, according to the rule. So this will give us what? Minus is the answer outside. Well, we now multiply the numbers, which is 9 times 5. And that gives us what? 9 times 5 is 45. So the answer we're going to have is what? Minus 45. Because different signs are multiplied there. Check this for instance. The same thing, minus 9 times plus 5. The same different sign. That's why we still have the same thing, minus 9 times 5, and still what? Minus 45. Another example, minus 10 times 5. You can see different signs because we have minus 10 and we have 5. Remember, we told you that when we see 5 in mathematics, it means what? Plus 5. So the answer will be what? Minus 10 times 5. And that will give us what? Minus 50. I hope you are with us. Okay, try not to be distracted. Now, another example, we have plus 3 divided by minus 3. Remember, when different signs are divided by each other, what do we have? We have a negative answer. So this will give us a negative of 9 divided by 3. Then that will give us what? 9 divided by 3 is what? Is 3. And because the answer will be negative, so we have what? Minus 3. Another example. We are giving you a lot of examples because we want you to understand this point. This aspect of mathematics is very, very important. So now, minus 60 divided by plus 10. Of course, there are different signs there, right? So it will give us a negative answer. So we are going to have minus of what? 60 divided by 10. 60 divided by 10 gives us what? 6. So answer will be what? Minus 6. Another example. Minus 10 divided by 5. That is divided by plus 5. I hope you know that. They are the same different signs. Obviously, the answer is still what? Negative. That's why we have minus of 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 gives us what? 2. So therefore, our answer is what? Minus 2. Another further. Now, look at this in summary. This is what we have been saying all this while. When working with multiplication and division, this is the rule. That plus times plus is equals to plus. That means when they are the same signs, the answer is always positive. The next one, minus times minus is always plus. They are the same sign, so it is positive. Then plus divided by plus is still plus. Minus divided by minus is equals to what? Plus. So this is the summary of rule 1. Whenever the same sign are multiplied or divided, then the answer is always positive. Now look at the summary for rule 2. The summary for rule 2 says plus times minus is equals to minus. You can see two different signs there. The next one, minus times plus is equals to what? Minus. The same different signs. Plus divided by minus is equals to what? Minus. Different signs. Minus divided by plus equals to what? Minus. So this is the summary of rule 2. You have to take note of these rules. Okay, let's give you something to play with. Now, the first question is minus 20 divided by minus 10. What's the answer? The second one is plus 3 times minus 9. What's the answer? The third one is minus 16 divided by 2. What's the answer? Okay, comment your answer in the comment space below so we can look through it. Thank you. We've come to the end of this particular lecture. In our next lecture, we shall be looking at directed numbers, lecture 3. Here, we'll be considering the mixed operations involving directed numbers. So, see you in the next lecture. Thank you.